Hello, this is Kenneth Vance from Rooftop Videos. Haven't been on for a while, been sick, just about better. This 100 to 103 degree heat every day. It's been really hard. And I know the whole earth, they're saying, is super hot right now. I want to get into more of the same and try to illustrate where we might be in prophecy. Now, I've been saying I think we're getting a lot of stuff wrong. We're not getting it in time order. We don't have enough details. Doesn't mean anybody's dumb. It just means we're trying to figure this stuff out as we see it unfold. But we are seeing things unfold right now. And you know this. Was August 15th, Trump and Putin meeting in Alaska. The war is over. Alex Jones getting all hyped up. Trump is doing it. We got peace. Well, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to go with the prophets. Ezekiel chapter 7, they shall say, peace, peace, and there shall be none. Am I going to believe Alex Jones or am I going to believe Ezekiel? Am I going to believe Jeremiah? Well, the king, you will hear wars and rumors of wars. Oh, any time now, China's going to get Taiwan. There's all sorts. Well, Thailand and Cambodia went at it for a little bit, and the Israel-Iran war lasted 12 days. Well, this one's going to invade it. We've been in this rumors of wars along with wars, short or long, and even India and Pakistan. There's another one. But the next verse he goes, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. It goes from what we're seeing this 24-hour day into all-out war, world war. That's what the king was trying to illustrate. So this Trump and Putin meeting is nothing more than a theater show. All the world is a stage. It's a setup. There's no way they're going to be at it for 3.5 years over there, and Russia is just going to capitulate and give up ground that has already been gained. Would you do that? Hardly. NATO wants to decapitate Russia. They don't want peace. This is a show. So something very big might be coming. I sense that something is indeed coming, but don't know what. But something big is getting ready to happen. I think you might be able to agree with me on this. I thought you see it. Something is going to happen. And with all these earthquakes, where Russia got 3 of them in 32 minutes, 3 days later they got 8.8, the volcano went off. Someone said it caused, because they had more, 6 volcanoes to go off from out of Russia. And now this morning, got an article sent. Alaska's saying they're going to get it. They can see it coming. Another earthquake. It's like it's moving its way down to the Cascadia, Washington, and Oregon. It's like dominoes. Like we're being set up for something big. Because this is just a little much. But I want to show you some things here that goes along with it. Why these things are happening, and we're going to try to make some sense out of it. So, I'm not buying that the Ukraine war is over. They'll say peace, peace, and there shall be none. Those are Ezekiel's words. And that is, chapter 7 is a last days prophecy. Now, I'm either going to believe him or I'm going to believe the Alex Jones types out there. I don't buy it. They are trying to start the all-out war and take Russia out so they can control, which is going to turn into Revelation 17. They will hate the whore and seek to burn her with fire. Sounds like nuclear fire to me. But he says, I put it in their hearts to fulfill my will. The Father, like he hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's doing the same with the red beast. So you better believe that the red beast over there is planning what they're going to do. And he says, Jeremiah 50, I've laid a snare for you, and you wasn't aware of it. A trap has been set. But what about us? The movement of Zion hasn't even started yet. And I'm every day wondering, I want to go home, I want to go to Zion, I want to get home already. But why hasn't anything on our side begun? I think I might be able to shed a little more light on it in reference to everything we've been seeing since the end of December. And when we put them all together, especially Apostle Paul, Romans chapter 8, probably really one of my most favorite chapters. I love it. The man saw. He was able to put it together, and he knew what to expect. And he obviously read from other prophets as well. So he understood the principle. Where he quoted, all of creation groaneth together until now in travail. Together until now means the weather calamities is at the same time that we're about to birth forth. It goes hand in hand. So whatever's taking place spiritually with this weather, it's reacting on this earth in anticipation of the earth birthing forth a new kingdom, a new nation. In the last days we will establish the kingdom. That's before the king can return. Period. He said, I want to throw this in. He says he will have a bride without spot or wrinkle. Well, we all know that the bride has to be without spot or wrinkle before he can return. Yes or no? The answer is yes. Well, part of becoming without spot or wrinkle is the kingdom has to be established as well, because that's part of that. So therefore, the kingdom comes before he comes back. Many still want to disagree with me on that, but that's not what the scriptures are saying. Daniel, in the days of these kings shall Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom. That's before the king comes back. He's coming back to a kingdom. A brand new nation in the last days, if you want to call it a nation, is birthed forth. A new country. Whatever you want to name it. Use the word kingdom. Yeah. That's what's taking place here. We are going to establish a kingdom, but we don't feel like we can establish nothing. That's where Isaiah comes into play. Because all these weather patterns is travailing. But the question is, how far into the travailing becomes the finish line that he says, now it's enough. Now we move. That's what I want to bring up today. Because I do think this Russia thing is going to get so heavy. I mean, this so-called man of peace, Trump, he man of peace, yeah. A man of war. A deceiver. Just like all the rest of them. And this kingdom of darkness is going to collapse on itself. It's going to go into division, and they'll turn on one another. Just like he says in Revelation 17 and elsewhere. So their unity was only for a season. Now the whole world's going to turn on itself, because that's the only direction the kingdom of darkness could even go. Let's go back to Isaiah 66. Been over these verses before, but if you've never seen any of them, let's do it again. Verse 7. before she travailed, she gave birth. Before her pain came, she delivered a male child. But notice verse 8. Who has seen such things? Who has heard such a thing? Shall the earth be made to give forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she gave birth to her children. Now, I know there's several different ways that we can take that, and I think there's more than one way we can take it and still be right. But my take on this, a nation should be birthed at once. But he says, before she travailed, she gave birth. But as soon as she travailed, she delivered the children. And that makes me wonder what he might be saying. It makes me think that when he says, as soon as she travailed, she gave birth, that there's, on a scale of 1 to 10, that's some point on that scale is what Yahweh says, all right, now that's now you're in full travail. For as soon as you reached this amount of travail, that's when I move. I'm beginning to think that's what he's hinting at. A certain level of travail, because we don't know from his point of view what he's seeing. And when he draws the line and says, that's it, now it's time. But he says a nation being birthed at once, that sounds to me like what we're in right now. We don't see anything of this movement yet, but it comes out of nowhere. All of a sudden, and quick. It seems to show this is something that's very quickly put together. Lest I be mistaken. But that's the way I'm taking his words here, is that it's going to happen rapidly. And it's going along with the weather calamities that is signaling that it's almost time. Which makes sense to finish our travailing all-out war or some natural disaster. Ezekiel 7, a disaster is coming, comma, a singular disaster is coming, comma, the end is come, the end is come. Something is going to happen that's going to put his people into that full amount of travail. And it's going to be quite dramatic. We will have reached the end of our rope, if you know what I mean. And that's where he's been bringing us. I too, I'm fed up. I've had it. I'm done. I'm not the only one. I know there are many more out there just like you that is just finished with it. You want to come out of the system. You want to be birthed into a new reality, to live life for real for once. To not be a part of the system, to be a part of the kingdom, where things are set straight, where things are straightened out. The marriages are restored. All of these things are restored. The restoration of all things, Acts 3, is beginning to take place. And Romans chapter 8 is being fulfilled. Well, the part of Romans 8 that's being fulfilled right now is the whole earth groans in travail. That's happening now. Ezekiel 7, they'll say peace, peace, and there's none. That's actually in progress at this very minute. You hear wars and rumors of wars. We're there. Now it's going to turn into the boom boom phase. It's very possible even natural calamities at the same time. We don't know. But something is getting ready to happen to catapult us forward. We are primed to this point. We're primed, but yet our travail and our being just fed up with it all, we want out so bad, it's increasing by the 24-hour day. Every day Nothing happens for the kingdom. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm on top of the list. I get more upset than anybody. But that is to be expected. We do desire the right thing. We're just fed up with waiting. I'm just being honest. But Zion is going to come forth. That's his kingdom. And Zion is his people. For Zion, thou art my people. And it's last days. But within Romans chapter 8, Paul says, it groaneth in travail, waiting for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. The earth is travailing because it's in anticipation of the birthing forth of his 144,000 overcomers, and although the rest that comes along with it. But he says the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. Well, that didn't happen in Paul's day. He must have been disappointed when he reached the end of his life as he realized it's not time yet. That would be a real cross for him to have suffered. But he knew of the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh is the point. But what went along with that in Romans 8? Redemption of the body, to have the bodies restored to what Adam and Eve had before the fall. Before resurrection, though. And most will say, oh, no. Oh, yes. Because he says the restoration of all things must take place, and all his enemies made his footstool for his people, has to be reversed before the king can come back, because until the restoration of all things has taken place with his people, then they're not without spot or wrinkle. If we're still suffering the curses and everything that we have inherited from the fall of Adam and Eve, there's still spot and wrinkle, isn't there? Take a look. I even got wrinkles, see? Therefore, the restoration of all things hasn't taken place. The restoration of all things is to be restored from something lost, which was back in Eden. But it has to be reversed for a bride without spot or wrinkle. We're not going to have these curses and fallen marriages. Everything will be restored, and then he can return. But that includes redemption of the body. Real wrinkles, this time's got to go. Bad health, finances, marriage, family status, everything messed up from A to Z. Has to be fixed. The spot and wrinkle has to be removed for the Zion people before he can return. Not after. He's got a job to do, and he's going to do it while we're still on this earth in great tribulation. That's the beauty of it. As the world's burning, we're rising. Of course, here's the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light. As the kingdom of light is raising by force interpretation, the kingdom of darkness is decreasing. It's not supposed to be Satan up here, we down there. It's the scales have to be balanced, and he's got to be destroyed. Period. That's the beauty of it. And this is what Satan is out to prevent, why he is crushing the people, wearing out the saints. Someone said in concordance that's pointing at mental and the spiritually, psychologically and all that. Yeah. Well, financially and all this too. All of it. Wearing us out. Do you feel worn out lately? I would bet you would say yes. Are you tired of waiting? I already know that answer. You know mine. Are you fed up with the system? Are you tired of this kingdom of darkness and want the real life promised in all the blessings in this book? You're going to say, yeah, I want that. Well, what we believe in is what that part of our faith is believing in, what we're having faith for. If we're believing in false doctrine, like the rapture, there's no profit in it. People are about to find out how untrue the rapture is, and the internet's full of all these rapture videos. This date, that date. They still are not coming out of it. Damnable heresies is what that is. People are going to be caught off guard, thinking they're getting zipped out, that the king's going to run out of here with his tail between his legs, and then let Satan run amok. No, it's the other way around, and it's not us that's in trouble. It's the New World Order. They're in trouble. It's the other way around. They're the ones in trouble in these last days, not us. We're going to have power. We're going to have the knowledge. All the spots and wrinkles, whether it's sin, attitude, belief, in the body, eating habits, who knows? There's not going to be spot or wrinkle left, because the restoration of all things is to reverse everything that went wrong from Eden while on this earth, not as we get into heaven in the big clouds up there. Down here, because we will set up a kingdom. The saints shall take and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. But he says that, Daniel says, that's before the king comes back, not after he returns. It has to be done before he can come back. He has to sit at the right hand till the job is completed, and what he paid for got the job done. Paul, manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. The men and women will rise up and do what we have to do. But the teachers don't want to teach this stuff. They want to teach a bunch of hogwash, a bunch of garbage that capitulates to Satan, hands him a victory on a silver platter, surrender to the devil without realizing it. And that's what the rapture is. That's a surrenderous doctrine. I say we're getting zipped out. That's surrendering this world to Satan without realizing it. Handing the devil another victory. Teaching that America is not in prophecy is handing Satan a victory. Teaching the kingdom comes after he returns is handing him a victory, because that is what we're called to establish. He's caused people to surrender what this book flat out says over and over. What we're supposed to do. The manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. The birthing forth. The weather patterns is telling us something is different. Volcanoes, earthquakes. I thought it was going to slow down. It's getting worse since the end of December. Worse and worse. It has not stopped. It's getting worse, because it's getting closer. So this comes to pass right here. Shall a nation be born at once? Shall the earth be made to give forth in one day? Shall the earth be made to give in one day? What is the earth doing? It's shaking. It's going crazy. The weather is out of control. Well, the earth is trying to give something forth and sending the signal that something in the spirit realm that we just can't comprehend, because we're human, it's signaling, here it's coming. You're saying peace and safety, and sudden destruction's coming upon the world. That really should apply. But it's going to be born at once. out of nowhere. We're not taking 30, 40 years. It comes out of nowhere. It's birthed at once in speed. But we've got the signs in the sun, moon, stars, and on the earth and all that. There's a reason why he mentions that in Matthew 24. So we would know. The signs is our best indicator because the signs are heavy. So I do want to bring this up to you. I mean, I've been saying it all along. What are the odds? What are the odds that the late, like 10:38, I seem to remember that's when it was, March 13th into after midnight Babylon time, March 14th, the United States got the 100%. The United States got the 100% total solar eclipse. All of it. The blood red eclipse. September 7th, America's counterpart, counterfeit Israel over there, because the United States is a headship tribe of Israel, it's Ephraim. But U.S. and Israel is hand in hand. What are the odds? U.S. gets the total eclipse in March. September 7th, Jerusalem, where counterfeit Israel is, gets the total blood red eclipse. What are the odds in the same year? What are the odds? Kind of goes hand in hand with April 8th. That's still not over. Is something getting ready to happen? We'll have to see. I know something's going to happen, but in reference to over there in Israel, because that's not over either. I mean, Operation Rising Lion and Operation Midnight Hammer, sorry, that's right in Scripture. I have 2 videos on that. You can backtrack and find them. The Iran thing is not over. Zechariah 5, the last verse, I believe it's verse 15, says the base is at Shinar, which is Iran, something to do with Iran. Starts off the nuclear phase, and it does. In the book of Malachi, the last verse in the Old Testament, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. He isn't going to destroy the whole earth with one curse. He severally as he will, he'll let them fall, the bombs, wherever he wants. Till he either steps in or does something. Who knows what the Father's got planned? He's in control. He's not going to have everything blown up just from nukes. Too many other prophecies have to happen. But he says, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Well, that curse can be none other than Zechariah 5:4, where he says, this is the curse that goeth over the face of the whole earth. That whole chapter is the nuclear missile chapter. And it starts at the base of Shinar, the last verse. Something to do with Iran. So that's not over either. We didn't decapitate their leaders and have the regime change. So that so-called Israel over there, they're not finished with it yet. No way. They have a satanic agenda to finish. But the Father's going to have his own answers. But soon we're going to have ours. When we finally break out of this mold, out of the womb, out into the open air, get our first breath as a newborn baby, our first kingdom breath. Go to chapters 4 and 5 of Micah, you'll see about the kingdom there. In the last days, the top of the mountains, top of the nations, will be the beginning. The kingdom will be established, and then America's, at what point I don't know, America's going to fall, and people's going to flee America and all that. There'll be a second Exodus. However, whatever order this is all in, we really can only guess. We know these things are going to happen, but I've been saying we're basically learning exactly what these prophecies mean as they're unfolding. We're getting it. We're seeing more and more of these things take place. But what's dead ahead on the time schedule is the birthing forth of Zion. Or else the earth is in travail for nothing. I guess this was just 1 year of the worst earthquake, volcano, and weather patterns I've ever seen. I guess it's all just a big fluke. Come on. This has to be it. I mean, I don't know when. I don't don't want to get false hopes. But up to this point, that's what I'm seeing. I'm just hoping that it's very soon, because I just can't take it no more. I'm done. I'm done. Many of you are done. You want the kingdom. You want the life. You want that peace and security. You want that joy, that bliss that none of us really has gotten to experience. Where he says, you will count it as though you had suffered nothing. Imagine that. I can only guess what it would actually feel like. I get the meaning of it, but we haven't actually felt that level of joy yet. But the churches won't let people see this because they have no idea what the kingdom is. There might be a couple out there, but I don't see, all over the internet, see videos every day. I don't see anyone going over a lot of things that I do. Now I'll put it in the description box. Go to the warning website. There you will learn from, he was my teacher, my personal friend, Larry McGuire. He died on Passover in 2018, actually. He was fantastic in what he was given. And Larry McGuire belonged to the McGuire's Car Wax Company. And when the Father came to him in his early years, he had a choice to make. He could have stayed with the McGuire's company and become filthy rich, or suffer the cross and listen to this. And he wound up choosing the Father, but it cost him. Rather than being a super duper millionaire, he wound up being a janitor for 17 years. So the warning website is his website. He's from the McGuire's family. So I recommend you read. I know it's a little bit of reading for the whole site. I've read the whole thing probably at least 20 times. But that's where we learn about the kingdom, the manifestation of his overcomers. The same ones where he says, those who overcome Jezebel, I will give right to smash the nations as clay pots. But that's done before the king comes as well. Over and over again. The king is doing it, but through his army. In Jeremiah 50, the portion of Jacob that is not like them, for you art my battle axe and weapons of war. Now go to book of Joel, starting in chapter 2. This army is his. He says, my camp is great. He said, it's my camp, this is my army. And he says, there's not going to be an army until the years of many generations. Not quoting that exactly right, but close. We're that army. Yet we're powerless to do anything today. But once this travailing has reached the point he wants it to, that's going to change. And I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to set it up, how he's going to kick this thing off. Only thing I know is what I read. So I don't believe Alex Jones or the internet gurus. I believe Isaiah, Ezekiel, Paul, and all these guys that wrote thousands of years ago. Talk about faith. To believe in something written thousands of years ago. But yet what they're writing is taking place now in the technological age. So we have a birthing forth that is coming soon. It has to be. It's going to come forth. We're going to establish the kingdom, and whatever it is we're going to be doing, we don't know all that. He will fill in the blanks when the time comes. We just need to see the general theme. That's about as well as we could do. And make some guesses along the way, sure. Entertain ourselves. But this thing is going to happen. So, this is why I'm not too concerned about this Trump-Putin meeting. To me, it's just a stage, unless they're going to false flag it or something. Nobody knows. But they don't want peace. They want to decapitate Russia. That's the bottom line. And they're not about to give up their satanic agenda. They're bound and determined to get it done. If Trump wanted peace, then stop sending weapons to Ukraine. Ends it right there, doesn't it? Oh, you talk about a ceasefire, you ain't got no more bullets. You got no more cannon fodder. They want war. It's to destroy this world and bring it into their admired New World Order, because they admire it so much. They think it's just unbelievable. But we overcomers, we hate this whole mess. We think differently. We're not like most of the people in the world in love with this world. We're in love with whatever it says here and what he wants. That's the purpose that he's been training us for. And that's where we're heading. I do desire to see more people on the net talking about these things. Can't find them. The kingdom is rarely at all mentioned. Really. The restoration of all things, I've heard no one except Larry McGuire's site that even talks about it and what it could possibly mean. There might be somebody out there that I haven't seen before, but so far I haven't seen it. So I'll give credit where it's due in case there is somebody out there. I just don't know. But I thought I'm going to bring that up today because this is part of our hope. This is our hope. This is the only ground right here that we have left to stand on. We don't have the physical goodies and everything going well to prove anything to anyone. Everyone looks at us like, you're just failures. And they seem to have their lives all together and they're so in love with this world. They can care less about this, but we stand on the word. That's all we got. And that's all we needed.